Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big him and Joe one stone, and it bring about feeling to all. show and stone, and it bring about the feelings of awakening. Rastaman show and stone, and it bring about the feelings of awakening.
Stibbidim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep, and some informer friend we love like we in Global. Bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global. We not promote them. We not support them. Look at them on the cheek. Come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the People's Point of View. Happy holidays to you all. Thanks for joining us. Usually it is our geopolitics evening on a Friday evening. We'll still look at geopolitics briefly, but I also want to pay some attention tonight as well to the steadily growing civil unrest in the Jamaica Labor Party. So we will be zooming on them tonight because it is one of the main reasons why the Prime Minister cannot call an election, though confident the Prime Minister is on his third term. The civil unrest across the country within the party is really, as I said to the Prime Minister this morning, you really are having a nightmare, Prime Minister. But it's not a nightmare based on conscience. It's a nightmare based on that iron grip of power, that rusty, greasy old hands of the Prime Minister has been slowly yanked piece by piece from the coffers of the Jamaica Labor Party and by extension of the country. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, dear subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Make sure so you register yourself by hitting the like button. And if you're on TikTok, keep tapping up the screen. And if you're new, please do remember to always give us a follow. Debbie Jarvis TV, good evening and welcome. Real sweet, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Kick Rockstone, good evening and welcome. Evan Riley, good evening. Good evening. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Barbara Simpson, good evening. Wayne Evans, Marcia Thomas, good evening, everybody. Abinasar Cody, good evening. Sophia Halls, Hyacinth Coley, Zanette Beckford, Canadian Gal, good evening. Good evening. Catherine Hypeness, good evening. Chelsea Clinton, Jamrock 8766, good evening, everyone. Miss T, Prudence Allen, Christine Gilbert, good evening and welcome. Opal Watson, good evening. Daphne Jackson, good evening. Colin, Paulette Lewis, Barry Macy, good evening. Let me see who's on the tick. Debbie, Michelle, Terms, Kenneth, Wayne, Stacian, it's RM, Dwight, Hat Girl, I think that Hat Girl, yes. Cynthia, Platinum, Roger, Robert, Silk, Terry, Kerry rather, Carolyn, Marlene, Sandra, Soldier Man, sorry. Andrew, Gavin, Babs, British lady. Is it Akil Palm, Clive, Abu, Wandon, Alex, Musa, Abiola, user 91, 19, Sally, user 4305. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow, a subscription, as well as like and share. Nora Harris, Norman Ferguson, good evening. We will take a quick slide into the geopolitical side of things, mainly to do with Trump and his lunacy, which will not end quite good for the United States. And then we'll roll it back to home, where we will look at the developing civil war in the Jamaica Labor Party. Has Delano Seabright been pricked by a pin and say, boy, say, Andrew, wrap you up for fool you, figure friend them, galang in over you. But Delano Seabright said, nothing na go so. But Carl Samuda, how much, which one of your mouth, open mouth, Carl Samuda, have you know? Carl Samuda will support you out of one mouth, and then he will support the other person out of the other mouth. Carl Samuda, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Samuda. How much mouth you have, sir? And who you support out of the left mouth and who you support out of the right mouth, Mr. Samuda? Because Samuda seemed like he had a mouth like an Andrew to, you know. Didn't Samuda support Tavares the other day after Delano Seabright was tricked by Andrew HOLNESS, thrust into the Senate and been given a junior minister's job in order to quiet him, to give the seat to the bloody hands of Tam Tavares and his son? It depends on which mouth Mr. Samuda speaks out of on which particular day. Isn't it, Mr. Samuda? It depends on which mouth you talk out of on which particular day you talk. But let's quickly look at how geopolitics is progressing, and then we'll come right back to the civil war in the Jamaica Labor Party.
Hello, namaskar. This is First Post, and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. How is India faring? Inflation has...
Somebody needs to hold Donald Trump and hold him and really shake him hard and said, if it is for you, America first, then you are on the wrong direction. You have never, Mr. Trump, been on such a wrong direction if this is about America first. And if you continue, Mr. Trump, you ought to change the narrative to America isolated, America isolated. You understand, Count Trump? So either somebody shake him into his sense, or you change the narrative to America isolated, because President Trump, it will not end any other way. Because let me tell you, President Trump, if nobody else ever tell you, the two worst person to show strength to is Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin. The two worst person that you are going to try, President Trump, to show strength to, you will meet your hallelujah along the way. Believe you me, President Trump. You will meet your hallelujah along the way. You know, so you're trying to embarrass you. A shame, you know, shame or a sense you don't have President Trump. Is it that you haven't got any shame, or you don't have no sense? because it's really not going good for you. Love and Bernard, how are you? Andrew, good evening. Debbie Jervis, welcome. Really not going good for you, President Trump, but continue.
Fallen, but the latest projections say that growth may fall too. And the recession fears still loom in America. You don't need big headlines to see it. Small indicators like lipstick and lunch sales also tell a story. And amid all of this, China continues its TikTok strikes, exposing the dirty secrets of Western luxury brands one video at a time.
I'm going to give away this incredible $4,000. Wait, no, not this one. This.
In Ukraine, they have a new plan to fix the cash crunch, legalize pornography. In Sudan, 2 years of war, and now the country may be divided. In Kenya, gang smuggling ants have been arrested. Yes, we're talking about the insects, ants. Who is buying smuggled ants and why? We will tell you. And why global wine sales are falling. They're at their lowest level since 1961. All this and more coming up. The headlines first. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife Usha to travel to India next week. During his visit, Vance will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And other than Delhi, the second family of the U.S. will also be visiting Jaipur and Agra. Usha Vance is the first Indian-American second lady. Before India, Vance and his family will be traveling to Italy. Pakistan's Foreign Secretary lands in Bangladesh to hold bilateral meetings. The talks will take place in Dhaka tomorrow. The last time the foreign secretaries of the two countries met was 15 years ago. The Pakistani official is also likely to meet Bangladesh's interim leader Mohammad Yunus. Ties between Islamabad and Dhaka have improved since the ouster of Sheikh Hasina last August. Iran's foreign minister will visit Russia tomorrow. Last week, Tehran held indirect talks with Washington over its nuclear program. The United Nations nuclear watchdog has warned that Iran is not far from having a nuclear bomb. Moscow, a party to Iran's 2015 nuclear pact, supports Tehran's right to have a civilian nuclear program. The UK Supreme Court rules on the legal definition of a woman, says it is based on a...
I was telling you about this earlier this morning about that landmark ruling in, I think it was brought by Scotland.
Person's sex at birth. This landmark decision comes amid a bitter debate over trans rights. The ruling is a setback for the Scottish government. It will prevent transgender women from positions set aside for women. And the European Union approves the sale of a new Alzheimer's drug, but says it can only be sold under strict conditions. The drug will be used to treat adults who are in the early stages of the Alzheimer's disease. It was approved in the US 2 years ago. China. It began with a 10% levy in February. It now stands at 245%. I'll repeat that for you. The US has increased tariffs on China to 245%. The White House announced it yesterday, though this time with less fanfare. No grandstanding by the press secretary, no all-caps post on Truth Social. Instead, this announcement was sneaked into a White House fact sheet. And the reason for this hike? Because China retaliated. Trump says 75 countries have reached out to him. They want to strike a deal with the US, but China has not reached out. Instead, they have imposed a 125% tariff on the US. So what does Trump do? He hikes it again to 245%. The White House says the ball is now in China's court.
Look, the president has made his position on China quite clear, although I do have an additional statement that he just shared with me in the Oval Office. The ball is in China's court. China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
Forget the ball. There is no court left to play in. A 245% tariff is not a pressure tactic or a retaliation. It is simply an ego move. You just heard the press secretary. She says that China needs to make a deal with the US, not the other way around. China should be the one making the deal. So clearly, the White House wants a deal with China. They just want Beijing to make the first move. The question is, how will China respond? Beijing had ruled out further tariff hikes last week. They said anything more than 125% is a joke. That is China's tariff on the US, 125%. They will not hike it further. As for talks, China is open to it. They have appointed a new trade envoy for negotiations, but only on the basis of mutual respect.
If the U.S. truly wants to resolve the issue through dialogue and negotiation, it should stop its practice of maximum pressure and cease with threats and blackmail. Instead, it should engage in talks with China on the basis of equality, mutual respect, and reciprocity.
Do you feel that your libido is lower than before? Has your drive disappeared? Your T levels may be to...
Let me recap that for you. The US wants China to pick up the phone and call Donald Trump, but China is saying, stop the bullying. Lift the tariffs first, and then we can talk. Like I said, it's an ego battle. Neither side wants to appear weak, and Trump is going the extra mile. The tariffs are just one part of his strategy. He's piling the pressure on his allies too. A top Trump official has issued an ultimatum to Europe. He wants Brussels to pick between American and Chinese technology, specifically communications technology. Let me give you the background here. Elon Musk's Starlink is trying to enter the European market, but a lot of countries are apprehensive. They do not like his meddling in European politics, nor do they like his president's tariffs, the US president's tariffs. So what does the US do? It issues a Bollywood-style ultimatum. Either pick us or the Chinese. Let me quote what US officials said. If you're concerned about Starlink, just wait for the Chinese Communist Party's version. Then you'll be really worried. Now, to be fair, he does have a point. The problem is the Americans are also unreliable. It's like a rerun of the Cold War. Back then, the Americans had the same attitude. You're either with us or against us. And Trump is reviving that Cold War approach. It's bad news for America's trading partners. Until now, the trade war was limited to the US and China, but now Trump is taking it beyond those arenas. He is asking other countries to publicly choose. And China knows this. They know that many countries are rethinking their partnership with the US, so they're trying to cash in. And China's strategy.
You may want to ask yourself, what is Andrew Holness' position and the new routing of relationship with whether it be China or a continuous relationship with America, given the unprecedented visit from Marco Rubio so early in Donald Trump tirade, given his disgruntled feeling on the expansionism of China in the Caribbean. So we would really want to hear from Andrew Holness what direction you decide to go, or will you, Prime Minister, be led by Donald Trump and Marco Rubio?
Strategy has been twofold. The first is to attack the US. No diplomacy or outreach, just full-on wolf warrior attacks. China state media is taking the lead here. Let me quote from their recent piece. This was published in a Chinese mouthpiece. The US is not getting ripped off by anybody. The problem is the US has been living beyond its means for decades. It consumes more than it produces. The US should stop whining about itself being a victim in global trade and put an end to its capricious and destructive behavior. Now, this approach has a clear motive: to present China as a challenger to the US, as the only country standing up to Donald Trump. Which brings us to the second part of China's strategy, reaching out to partners. Xi Jinping is on a tour of Southeast Asia. He has visited Vietnam and Malaysia already. His next stop is Cambodia. Do you know what's common between all these countries? All of them face steep tariffs from Donald Trump. So Xi Jinping is sweeping in as a savior, as the wise statesman who is taking on Trump.
One of the main reasons why I'm bringing these type of information to you on a Friday night, it is particular for the reason that there's a major power shift in the world at the moment, within countries, within region, and globally. There is new positioning of partnership. We have not, as a people, benefited from whatever partnership Jamaica has with either the West or with China. This is why I want us to wake up and pay attention to what deals and what partnership are being entered into by our leaders, because at the end of the day, when it's all fall down the road, we are going to bear the brunt of it, not them who made those deals that doesn't necessarily benefit the common man.
Listen to what he said.
We must uphold the multilateral trading system, keep global industrial and supply chains stable, and maintain an international environment of openness and cooperation.
How about that? China is preaching cooperation and openness. On most days, it would sound absurd. But then you look at Donald Trump and you think, maybe not. The US is squandering its goodwill across the world and, by extension, playing into China's hands. This is a clash between the art of the deal and the art of war. Let's see how it unfolds. So Trump has raised tariffs on China once again. His trade policies are setting off alarm bells across the globe. World leaders are scrambling to contain the fallout. How will they respond to Trump's tariffs? What is their toolkit of choice? Stimulus, pumping cash into the economy. It is a time-tested strategy, and many major economies are now deploying it. Like South Korea, which has unveiled a supplementary budget. This package is worth over $8 billion. And where will this extra money go? In managing the risks from Trump's trade war and in boosting South Korea's AI capabilities. That alone, the AI capabilities, will get about a third of this fund, a third of $8 billion. At the same time, Seoul is exploring negotiations with Washington. It will soon send it.
Kathy, Christine, I'm not going to stop pushing them till they pay attention, because if we don't pay attention, our corrupt leaders are going to sell us out and we are going to be left behind with the shoddy deal that they signed. We see how it's all going on already. We cannot not be engaged in this situation when we see how Donald Trump alone has turned the world economic order upside down and demanding countries to take side with East or West. Because of the fall of America and the rise of China, of course, there's a new global positioning. And we shouldn't make our leaders take us into this without we have understanding of where it is going and any backlash and implications out of it, where we say one, I got tagger with down the road.
Team to the US to try to cut a deal with the Trump administration. Of course, there's no guarantee of a deal, which is why South Korea has armed itself with a financial.
Child, I went from looking unloved to love because I definitely was overdue for a pedicure.
Baby, you got to go to work on my receipt.
War chest. Same with Portugal. They have announced an $11 billion package. Their prime minister says, and I'm quoting, "The world we knew has changed." His name is Luis Montenegro. He's the Portuguese prime minister, and he says that his country must adapt quickly to this changing reality. Portugal's neighbor Spain is doing the same thing. Last week, the Spanish government announced a $15 billion package. And just like Portugal, it's a mix of loans and direct aid. Spain plans to boost spending in defense.
The objective of this plan is for Spain to contribute to and, at the same time, benefit from this technological and industrial stimulus to strengthen the European security and defense area, while remaining faithful to our principles.
Stimulus packages are direct interventions. Clearly, these countries don't want to wait for Trump to change his mind and offer concessions, and that is why they're resorting to stimulus and building a safety net around their economies. China is under pressure to follow suit. In fact, Beijing could be readying a package as we speak. Analysts predict a massive stimulus push of up to $275 billion, $275 billion China stimulus package. Last month, Beijing raised its deficit target. Now, what's a deficit? When a government spends more than it earns, when its expenses are higher than its income, that gap is called a budget deficit. Now, earlier, China was targeting a deficit of 3%, but last month, they raised it to 4%. This gives...
You notice from Marco Rubio come and gone, Andrew Holness haven't really had a conversation with the nation about this issue, because what, Dulcie, how are you? What Andrew Holness and Marco Rubio said in the press conference make no sense. Andrew Holness was speaking about something completely different from what Marco Rubio was speaking about. We really haven't had any proper words from Andrew. What it's about, where it is going, where you are taking us, where will you be positioning Jamaica? And I think the People's National Party should be answering those questions too, because they will be the new government after the general election. That's for sure. I don't think the Labour supporters can deny that any longer, that Labour has pushed themselves out of the race of the general election. It is just plain for everyone to see. There is a civil war all across. We're going to go back to Marlon Wilson later on. But we know there was a brewing with Carl Samuda's seat from just before the Labour Annual General Conference in November, when they announced that Mike Henry and Samuda will be gunners. Andrew Holness wants to manipulate his way of who he gives those seats to, and they ought to be given to Andrew Holness' cronies. We see the problem he's experiencing in Clarendon with the Mike Henry seat. There's still a split there, similar to what we saw over last weekend in Westmoreland. Many of us were of the opinion that when the Prime Minister placed Steve Wright in the Senate and quickly ushered him into the junior ministry, it was a shut him up in order to hand the seat over to Tavares. Look, we have given you, thank you, Kathy, we have given you a top job, and we are sure that we're going to win a third term. So you're going to be in the Senate for at least another 5 years as a junior minister of government. But this week, it has suddenly turned itself around, because Steve Wright said, "Me nah make you chick me." Remember say, Andrew Holness and Chang Onobe, uno can't stick to no word. Me have the veteran by my side. I mean, I'm going to make sure, say, Tiny, thank you. Me cling on with the veteran support, because the veteran, you see, controls the numbers and the supporters and the delegates. So once I me in support, me now make Andrew Holness push me out so or so easy. Or me now make Andrew Holness push me out for a few weeks in the Senate and in the junior cabinet, when Andrew damn well knows say a trick me for give the seat because he say him a go lose the election. So there's nothing for me after general election. Delano Steve right, so not a backside of that Andrew Holness. Just like how you're a fighter Clarendon, you're a fighter Westmoreland, you're a fighter Manchester, here, there, and make we open one new front, yeah, so Andrew Holness. Let's open a new front in the civil unrest within the Jamaica Labor Party. Positioning within the Jamaica Labor Party has become the nightmare for the Prime Minister. One of the many failures of the Prime Minister that will take the Prime Minister down and the party down with him as well. Because people like me have pled with the Jamaica Labor Party. Change Andrew Holness. He's a danger to you all. Change Andrew Holness. He's a danger to you all. Look there now. We not turn with him till we have to go with him. Because we can't change now, you know. If you all change now, it's impossible. Even by consensus, it will be a bloodbath in silence. There is no unity within the Jamaica Labor Party at the moment. How will Andrew Holness cross it? How will Andrew Holness cross it without unity in the Jamaica Labor Party? Prime Minister, you know, sister, nobody not help you. You're not tired. Tenement yard ministry. Because he's a tenement yard government, you know, Prime Minister. You're running a country from a mobile phone. Look how we country get to. Because you're running our country, Prime Minister, from a mobile phone. That's why nothing can get done in our country. Because you have the whole country operating on a mobile phone. Let's listen to Steve Wright intervention and tell me if this is not an open war between Andrew Holness and Carl Samoda. And Steve Wright say, you know what? Carl Samoda side me depend.
I am Delano Sivright. No, my friend, I want to take a moment to share something very important with you, something I've thought long and hard about. After deep reflection, countless conversations, and a genuine desire and a sense of duty, I made the decision to formally offer myself to serve as chairman of the Jamaica Labor Party's North Central St. Andrew constituency. This is not a decision driven by ego or ambition. It's driven by purpose, by service, and by love for the people of this constituency and our great party. I want to make it clear. I take this step with the full blessing and support of the sitting Member of Parliament, the Honourable Carl Samoda.
No make nobody make it just a try to go away, so stop. That somebody say stop. Somebody say stop. Them tell there's a better. Lord God Almighty, stop cry. Giant cry too much. No make nobody make it just a try to go away, so stop. That somebody say stop. Somebody say stop.
Parliament, the Honourable Carl Samoda. He's a national icon, a man who has given nearly 50 years of unwavering service to Jamaica and to the North Central St. Andrew constituency. I hold him in the highest regard, both as a leader and as a mentor, and I've done my best to honor his legacy in both word and deed. I also want to recognize Mrs. Samoda, a woman of strength and dignity who has stood beside him in service and sacrifice. This constituency is one of the most dynamic and diverse in Jamaica. It stretches across the north central belt of the Kingston metropolitan area and brings together established communities, growing commercial zones, and areas that are filled with potential and ready for transformation. From Norbrook, Allardyce, Waterworks, Manor Park to Armour Heights, Grosvenor, Orange Grove, the lower suburbs of Stony Hill and Long Lane, right through to Smoky Vale, Cassava Peace, Charlton, Lady Huggins, Fagan Avenue, Maryvale, Constant Spring Grove, Calabar, Whitehall, Dunmere, Common, Park Lane, 100 Lane, Mount Salus, Wireless, Manning Hill, and other communities. It is the heartbeat of opportunity, talent, and possibility. And with major corridors like Red Hills Road, Manning Hill Road, Constant Spring Road, and Shortwood Road running through, this is a seat that connects people from all walks of life. Now, in November 2024, I was unanimously elected Deputy Chairman of the constituency with the full support of MP Samuda, our councillors Susan Senior and Lee Clark, and the overwhelming majority of delegates. That moment was a strong vote of confidence in my leadership and in the work I've quietly been doing over the years. Since then, the calls have only grown louder from delegates.
Before I'm done, may I go tell you why I think him come and set out him style in the way him do. He must set to Andrew Holness and Tom Tavares. You're a liar, boy. Where work for Europe, where European consulate or whatever and be consulate say a Neverland or whichever land, further land or whichever land him something another consulate for. Delano Steve Wright is saying, I have been on the ground for quite some time doing the work. He said, Andrew Holness, have been here from the days of G2K, you hypocrite. Because this is why you're losing out, Andrew Holness. A lot of these G2K people who work hard to get you where you are, Andrew Holness, who work hard to get you chosen above Audley Shaw. You, Prime Minister, have turned your back on all of these people. And they are lying there, waiting for you, Andrew Holness, because they're saying, not again.
I am Delano Silbright. No, my friend, I want to take a moment to share something very important with you, something I've thought long and hard about. After deep reflection, countless conversations, and a genuine desire and a sense of duty, I made the decision to formally offer myself to serve as chairman of the Jamaica Labor Party's North Central St. Andrew constituency. This is not a decision driven by ego or ambition. It's driven by purpose, by service, and by love for the people of this constituency and our great party. I want to make it clear. I take this step with the full blessing and support of the sitting Member of Parliament, the Honourable Carl Samuda. He's a national icon, a man who has given nearly 50 years of unwavering service to Jamaica and to the North Central St. Andrew constituency. I hold him in the highest regard, both as a leader and as a mentor, and I've done my best to honor his legacy in both word and deed. I also want to recognize Mrs. Samuda, a woman of strength and dignity who has stood beside him in service and sacrifice. This constituency is one of the most dynamic and diverse in Jamaica. It stretches across the north central belt of the Kingston metropolitan area and brings together established communities, growing commercial zones, and areas that are filled with potential and ready for transformation. From Norbrook, Allardyce, Walter Works, Manor Park to Armour Heights, Grosvenor, Orange Grove, the lower suburbs of Stony Hill and Long Lane, right through to Smoky Vale, Cassava Peace, Charlton, Lady Huggins, Fagan Avenue, Maryvale, Constant Spring Grove, Calabar, Whitehall, Dunmere, Common, Park Lane, 100 Lane, Mount Salus, Wireless, Manning Hill, and other communities. It is the heartbeat of opportunity, talent, and possibility. And with major corridors like Red Hills Road, Manning Hill Road, Constant Spring Road, and Shortwood Road running through, this is a seat that connects people from all walks of life. Now, in November 2024, I was unanimously elected Deputy Chairman of the constituency with the full support of MP Samuda, our councillors Susan Senior and Lee Clark, and the overwhelming majority of delegates. That moment was a strong vote of confidence in my leadership and in the work I've quietly been doing over the years. Since then, the calls have only grown louder from delegates, constituents, party supporters, and even people overseas asking me to step forward with clarity and lead with purpose. And so I'm answering that call with humility, but also with firmness. I'm stepping up to help mobilize, organize, and energize this constituency into a model for the rest of the country. I've served this party for over 22 years from my university days with Generation 2000 G2K, where I had the privilege of mentoring and building with now ministers of government, MPs, business leaders, senators, to fight in tough election battles, including in PNP strongholds, and working in opposition and government on key initiatives. I've had the honor of serving as a junior opposition spokesman for tourism, working closely with the late Shane Robinson and Minister Edmund Bartlett. And I'm also honored now to be Minister of State for Tourism. I also played a key role in bipartisan cannabis law reform movement, helping to bring about landmark legislative changes. And I've helped to transform Jamaica's tourism industry into one of the most admired in the world, from airlift expansion, investment promotion, to stakeholder engagement and market development. I've also been privileged to serve on major boards like JAMPRO, the Jamaica Tourist Board, the Jamaica Information Service, the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the National Insurance Fund, and many others, under both the Bruce Golding and Andrew HOLNESS-led administrations. Outside of government, I've worked professionally in corporate communications, business development, and other spheres of consulting within the business realm, while also maintaining a strong public voice in the media as a guest columnist and radio host. Academically, I hold a bachelor's degree in political science and a master's degree in public policy and management. But none of that matters if it doesn't translate into service, and I'm ready to give even more. With the right team, rooted in unity and discipline, we will turn North Central.
I don't know about the unity, master. The unity and the discipline, you notice me make you talk. I mean about trouble you. The unity and the discipline part, I don't know about it.
St. Andrew into a model constituency with empowered communities, youth training, mentorship, greater support for small and micro enterprises, safer neighborhoods, and a strategic plan for development that includes everyone. This is not just about holding a title, it's about delivering real, measurable results. It's about taking pride in our communities. It's about building something solid for future generations. I want to take a moment to thank our party leader, the Most Honorable Andrew HOLNESS. His journey from modest beginnings to Prime Minister is a constant reminder of the power of vision, discipline, and humility. His mentorship has shaped me, and I remain grateful for his example. So I'm stepping forward, firmly, humbly, and with purpose. I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to serve. And I'm ready to work alongside each and every one of you to make North Central the best it's ever been. Let's move forward together with unity, with strength, and with a clear plan of action. Thank you, and God bless.
Prime Minister, don't look pretty. Garrick, what is the source of that news that the Prime Minister will be resigning? The Prime Minister cannot resign now. Trust me. If the Prime Minister resign now, they might as well coronate Mark Golding as the next leader without even a general election. The Prime Minister cannot resign now. He cannot. He just cannot. That will be an acceptance of defeat. Trust me. Andrew HOLNESS can't resign now unless Andrew HOLNESS decide I'm going to just walk out and destroy the Jamaica Labor Party. So while I don't see any official source of the news, of that particular news, or any official release from the Prime Minister or any of the news sources, and I wouldn't believe it either, because the Prime Minister, they can put an interim leader, Lartland, that's not the problem. They can put an interim leader, that is not the problem. The problem is what would be the reality of the general election. No leader at this point, so close to a general election, especially in a divided party, will be able to quell the division, especially dealing with labor supporters. No interim leader, no matter much of a consensus and how much compromise him a go make, will not be able to build back the unity in the party to get the base already working. The Prime Minister also, I don't think he would want this on his CV as going down as the most NIMBYized Prime Minister of Jamaica that picked up his bag and run when he saw the losses laid bare in front of him. So no, Andrew Holness is not going to resign. He's too much of a narcissist to resign. It will have to come crushing down on him. Trust me, Andrew Holness now resign. Not even for health grounds. Not even for health grounds, Andrew Holness now resign, because it would be bad for his legacy as well as the direction of the party. Well, I don't know how much the IC has on him. The IC put out what them have already. FID or TAJ hasn't even said to us what they are doing, if they are doing anything. So far, whatever the IC have on him, them put it forward. It would be for FID or TAJ to say if they find anything from what was referred to them. But Labour cannot change a leader right now. Andrew Holness will have to take the knife in his back, but it will not happen, trust me. The only way Andrew Holness can resign, if the Americans them order him to resign, and still that would kill the party at the general election. So it not gonna happen. Tell us the difference between Bruce was forced to resign. What no? But if you notice what I said just now, I am Cuddy. Unless he's forced to resign by the Americans, and it would still crush the party, because what you have to look at is the division, within the Jamaica Labor Party at the moment. No leader would be able to unite them to do better than what Andrew Holness would have done. So anyway it go, it will be terrible for the party. And unless it's the Americans force him out by threatening him to unseal any sealed indictment, then the narcissist Andrew Holness he's going to fight to the bloody nose of it, believe you me. The only way I'm going to say Andrew step aside, he must be threatened by the Americans that we can unseal a sealed indictment, and that may be the only thing. But Andrew Holness stepping away gracefully, Andrew Holness don't have grace, so no, don't look out for that. If Andrew Holness resign, and Marco Rubio and Donald Trump threaten him, If Andrew Holness resign, it's not because Andrew Holness have grace or Andrew Holness have integrity or conscience. It would only be that he's threatened by the Americans, and it would destroy the party. As they say, Tanasi, no poil, no dance. So we will turn and we will see how it go. Make we finish the line of few sentence. Thank you, Kathy. Are you having problem with the audio, Debbie? Let me know if you're having problem with the audio. Mhm. But is this a stab in the back or a slap in the face? Is this a stab in the back or a slap in the face? No audio? Oh, what happened to my audio? On TikTok, good now. Can you hear me on YouTube? Where's the boat? Let me know if you can hear me. No, no. Okay, Kathy hearing me. Yes, can hear you. Okay, you're hearing me on both platforms. Is this a slap in the face? This, all of what Delano Seabright has just outlined. Thank you all. Is this a slap in the face or a stab in the back? Because all of us in public land and media land thought when Delano Seabright was ushered into the Senate and given a cabinet position, we thought it was a quieting of Seabright in order to give the seat away to Christian Tavares, which they were mobilizing themselves to take over. But Delano Seabright is saying, I have the support on my side. I'm also a seasoned politician. If you listen to him outlining his stall, if you listen to him outlining his stall, he's telling you, I am a seasoned politician. I've got a ton of experience under my belt. I'm not coming into this because of hereditary, because my father is a politician. That's not why I'm coming here. I am coming because I want to serve. I am coming because I am already serving. I am coming because I have already been on the ground with the people. That's the level of setting out of stall Delano Seabright did. Is this a slap in the face to Andrew Holness, given that we know based on how it's going, Andrew Holness really wants to give the seat to Tom Tavares' son. Carl Samuda on the other hand, does not want that. Even though out of one mouth he gave some level of support after the whole Senate brouhaha, but he's fully behind Seabright. Is this a new front? Not new front. Is this the how you call that word? The reemergence of the opening of a new front in the all-out civil war within the Jamaica Labor Party when it comes to positioning for the next general election, which is giving the Prime Minister an awful lot of nightmare. White Tavares don't send his son down, Ochi. Go sit down and White son. And the guy is an attorney. He is ambassador, what's it or rather? Something to do with the commission of one of those country, one of those European country. Some counts that got in to do with one of those European country. But you have to understand the move here. Now, Mr. What's it, Dark Glass man, there's nothing behind him politically. Nothing. What is the jostle about, though? Especially for him, who've got nothing to count on other than I'm an attorney and my father is the president of the Senate. That's all he might come with. Nothing else. At least the Lord of Steve Wright could come and set out in style and say, see ya, me start sell Guinea till me come up to June Plum and see ya now, me have shop. Said the Lord of Steve Wright. And qualify with it too. Him ya, just a ride pan the donkey tail come in. But why him ya and him pupper decide to hang on pan the donkey tail and wrap around them and broke it if needs be, it is a safe seat. He cannot go into a seat that is a seat like Southwest St. Elizabeth, which is a what you call them seat? Swing seat. Him can't go in a swing seat. Him cannot go in a seat, go work, which is a People's National Party dominant seat. Loonies and soft butters like these, good evening, Mel, how are you? Have to go into a safe seat where them know say it's a JLP seat. If you put a brown dog there, the brown dog is going to win. If you put a white monkey there, the white monkey is going to win. If you put a brown pig there, it is what is going to win because it's a JLP safe seat. This is why you see them kill up themselves over this safe seat. Cam couldn't go anywhere else, go in no other seat because there's nothing behind him other than me poopa have a bloody hands, other than me poopa always align with gangs and dons till your daughter become fetish with them. That's all he's coming with. As much as I don't like Delano Steve Wright, as much as Steve Wright is a hypocrite and a liar and a criminal after what Steve Wright did to the people on the White River, I don't agree with Steve Wright either. But I am wholly in a position to a barefaced lunatic just coming to sit down and do nothing in our parliament because of hereditary politics. He's not the only hereditary I have problem with. I have problem with the Charleses. I have problem with the Duncans. I have problem with hereditary in politics. When thieving parents don't thief with money in a politics, then if you go on, take them picking with them thief with money, give on day one, and go on. Una left, una put out the vases, yes. Who else are the hereditaries in politics? If you cut out the sin thing there, we must cut out these things where we take up thieving politician don't speaking it. Because look at Pernell Charles, Sr., the thief. And then we pick up the dunce data. Phillips hit for him pupadi in politics so. But all of the hereditary them from both sides of the fence. Me know the hereditary thing in politics. Because then just sit down and wait for get big job and all heap of money and big title and do nothing. Them the two dunce them are catching. Them the two Baba black sheep or wholeness have. But then again, if Ann get a seat, if George Wright, who ongo get him out for Nyam Dumpling, get a seat, anybody can get a seat. We can walk and issue them out like Oprah. You get a seat, you get a seat, you get a seat, you all get a seat. As long as the people are qualified, they can run. Sergi. Is that with a reference to advance? Sergi. As long as people are qualified, they can run. Is that a reference to Anvars? Okay, they can run. Look at how they get to the running stage. Look at how they get to the running stage. And the KD night data we are coming in as well. I'm totally in opposition to all of them. Look at what is going on with positioning at the moment with delegates. And then both sides, because we have the Lawrence Rowe situation, now the similar with the Marlon Wilson situation, and the others escalated in the Jamaica Labor Party. This is where these people, through hereditary or through political connection, or being forced upon the people. Mayfeather, for example, who lost his goody two shoes in KSAMC, jump out of the Senate, him and Andrew Holness and Chang make the deal. The people of, is it Central Clarendon, don't want him, but Andrew hold him and push him on down there. That's not qualified to run. It is what is causing the very problem. Indeed, pick up Marlon Wilson and enforce him upon the people. And now look what has happened. Because Marlon never qualified for run. A whole heap of that Andrew have. Whole heap of Andrew, new MP, where Andrew carrying in a 2020 has done bugger all. It is why Andrew Holness is trying to change some of them right now. But there's a woeful lack of leadership in the Jamaica Labor Party. The dictatorial direction that we have been speaking about with Andrew Holness, and every time Labour right come and cuss we off and all of that, it's sort of a vindication to see that the same Jamaica Labor Party supporters are at cahoots with Andrew Holness about how Andrew Holness is dictating to them and leading the party into Andrew Holness's own blindness. This is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness cannot win the general election, because he has disturbed his very base, the people who should go there and canvass for vote and work for him, who should make sure get out people on election day to go vote. These people are not interested. In the case of the people in Westmoreland, they're telling the Prime Minister directly, we are prepared. If you don't take our issues in concern, we are prepared to go PNP on this. Wherever the Prime Minister have such major division and split, it's just not going to work. I'm not even going to talk about Paul Brown and the other, because that's more likely a PNP seat. So them squabbling amongst themselves is not really an issue. But I'm focusing on seat that the Jamaica Labor Party hopes to return. And at least 3 of these seats are safe seats, like the Ardeshaw seat, the Mike Henry seat, and the Carl Samuda seat. These seats have rickety-tickety and gone in at it at the moment. Andrew Holness in a bad situation. Terrible situation as a leader, given how close we are to a general election. Andrew and the party should have known. You should have dealt with this. Once you see the pronouncement of the general election and that you have not got the majority vote behind you, the Prime Minister's credibility continues to dive following the local government election. Una stick with him, una turn with him. The ride was sweet for una all along, una shall continue the journey to hell labor rights. But una too silent pan him though. Una help him thief. Una help him tell lie. When he been sweet, the whole on the mouth load. How no so silent now? Remember when the integrity report published last year, September 17. The whole on just a line up and a buck up in a camera, so if he comes say, dear leader, what the whole on then know? What if you help him fight for the 3rd term? Where all on there? Which Marlene Mala Ofort? Marlene Mala Ofort where ride donkey for impress people, or where dance to a whole lawn of empty canvas. Never mind the buzz cock with Marlene Mala Ofort. I will be unavailable, absent for a while. I will unavailable, absent, I go on with tonight, man. Come on, unavailable, absent. Don't play up here tonight. We're going unavailable, absent for a minute.
Youth and distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I, Steve Graham, council nominee on the Old Harbour Primary Board of Management, I represent Mr. Ramon Fisher, who is unavailable, absent. I happy for this opportunity to greet you today at the 2023 graduation at this School of Excellence.
Unavailable, absent.
Graduation is a milestone of all levels. For the reason I feel truly honored to be here at all wonderful occasion, annual graduation ceremony at the Old Harbour Primary School Institute of Excellence. It is great joy. I am here today to assure you all graduates that I know you face a rough task throughout your preparation, your primary school year, especially during the pandemic, and with all the preparation for PEP. But I have no doubt the series of scare events you encounter endure during the period has only made you stronger and more resilient for the road ahead.
I want to say, open with a quote. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but by day, while their companions were sleeping, toiled upwards in the night. And that is exactly
the third term under the HOLNESS led administration. All right, my workers, me couldn't go and not big enough.
Shalom,
For the
Tabia.
third term under the HOLNESS led administration.
Answer the question.
La bende, sedita.
Because you got something.
Jeremiah.
Na 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 na. Wanna do the fetics labor right? You know you lots on Twitter and what the other upper echelon platform name, but you bunch of do the fetics. Wanna can run some evening class? Many of you that do the fetics of the Jamaica Labor Party, the Twitterers, some of the benefit from evening class, you know. Some of the parents, they had the money for sending, you know, got evening class. And it help one of the slower one to pull up on the socks and come up. We can run some evening class. We don't know if evening class needed over labor. I wonder if Jamaica people is going to do this again. I wonder if Jamaica people is going to do this to themselves again. You elect people who can't read and can't count to run your corporation. And then when your corporation move backwards and not forwards, you blame the people them who can't read the contract what them for sign.
Would you repeat what you were saying? Mr. McKenzie is suggesting that there's a certain level of partisanry on the part of how you allocate certain benefits at the municipal level. Mr. McKenzie cannot come to this on this platform and say anything like that. What I have done is what he was practicing when he was the mayor. When he was the mayor and he gets the funding from the ministry, he shares it in a 50, 100% basis. He gives the JLP 50% and they take 100%. And it is evident right now that is exactly what I'm doing. Hold on. That math's not sound right. If you get $100 million, you take 100% and get the PNP 50. Get half of it. No, that's not. No. Something that's what he was doing. No, but you can't have 150% or something, sir. How much would he take and how much would he give the PNP? If he gets $10 to share for the council, yes. If the PMP would get 100 or $50 out of $10, and it's
You make me tap you so before picking you go walk off and say then here upon you so you can't get $50 out of 10. Hey, Jesus Christ. The more you listen to Lady Labor right then, it's either a comedy show or a depression. Which one if you choose, my people? Tell me. Comedy show or depression? Hmm? Me now make no picking go walk with fire. Well, here say, they here pan so you can get $50 out of $10. Me not do it. Sorry, Mayor. Hmm? Boy. TikTok tell me if you not hear some nice funny fan. The in your hat me need to turn on the fan. Hmm? The mayor say, I wanna do something there, you know. I wanna elect them. Hmm? I wanna go a polling station and see them picture and vote for them. $50 out of $10. You have represent. You have administry. You have dignification. It's serious in Jamaica. And unna hear George Wright talk. Hmm? When I hear George Wright open his mouth, I say, why? And everybody did forget mouth because George Wright get him out and have no intention of using
Here
it.
this afternoon. Custos of St. Thomas,
No intention
Mrs.
of
Marcia
using
Bennett.
him out.
Members of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, Mr. James Robertson. Members of Parliament for Eastern St. Thomas, Mrs. Michelle Charles. My fellow councillors, ladies and gentlemen, and citizens of the wonderful parish, good afternoon. I stand before you today humbled and honored to be your mayor. This is not just a victory for me, but for all of us who believe in community prosperity and unity. As your mayor, I pledge to serve each of you with dedication, dignity, and integrity. Together, we will work to address the challenges facing our parish to build a brighter future for our generation to come.
All right. You know, say, you grow up with some duns, we just duns. And when them attack, they confuse you. It's a part of them. You and them grow up in the community. You understand them. That's no problem. You have few of them in a heavy community. The whole we know that. Some of them are even with friends and with family them. That are not the problem. Hmm? That is not my problem. What is my problem then? The paper. Oh, Jesus. My problem is the paper. The paper where they claim so them a read off. And that's where my problem come in. They can't say any foolishness, you know. We used to foolishness being said, not off a paper though. It normally just come out, it normally just pop out a mouth. So. Christ of mercy. Jamaica people, these are what you are electing. These are what you are electing to make decision on your behalf. And then you turn around and call, say, you know, a road, water, and hospital. You never look where you elect. No, talk truth. You never look where you pick up. Say, and a really puss in the bag is frog. Hmm? I'm not going to do it again, you know. We're not going to do it again because we still have the tribalism in our dignification, resent. 50 out of 10. Administry. Buster can't spell bread. Come on, Jamaica. This has gone for too long now. And not just today they done. All when Buster there hold on Rastaman and a broke buckler and stone and a cut off their locks. Buster couldn't spell bread. Look pa and vase. When they say go Hampton. Hampton need to explain this. Hampton, that institution will produce a lot of bright people, need to explain what they were doing with Anne up there, or where was Anne when they were teaching. Just like how the other one were sleeping, when the next one them passed them and vase. Somebody, Paya, I can't remember who, say a Hampton and vase go. So Hampton need to explain where was Anne vase while all of it were going on. Because the women of those generation who went to Hampton are some academically sound women. How Anne vase one fit on out so? Hampton no produce the same thing there. Not Hampton that I know, because there's a lot of young lady from Parity that went to Hampton. So me know what Hampton produce. So Hampton need to explain what to Anne vase. Oh, she want come out so. Why on have her in the back of the class asleep and never pay attention? Look at me say I must Hampton in the US and Hampton in Jamaica. Can anybody know Hampton? Know where Hampton produce? You say Hampton. Anybody know Hampton? No, say Hampton and Monroe produce some good, sound, academically sound people. At least from my area. At least from my area. Where's the Happy Grove need to explain about Mayor Thompson also? Hampton need to explain Anne vase, because that's not what Hampton used to deliver. And in those era that Anne vase would have attended Hampton, Hampton was producing brilliance them time there. Hampton was producing brilliance in the time that Anne vase got here. So what happened to you? We need to find out which bush you did tap in our account leaf. We need to find out which bush you did tap in our account leaf. Or if you have to walk slope and road every morning and count wire fence posts and you never make it to school because you were transfixed and counting the wire fence posts them a morning time. Or is it you just tap a some shop pizza, spend out your money on bag juice and bulla, and wait pan with you where you go home at evening time, you walk home with you like when you read our school together today. Does anyone know of any councillor or MP in the People's National Party that is so dunce? Because I would want to know, because I would want to blow them up. Dunce and dunce and dunce and dunce and dunce and dunce. But my God, haven't the Labour Party got an overwhelming majority in dunceness? Hasn't the Jamaica Labor Party has an overwhelming majority in what you would call numbskulls? Skull numb, can't feel nothing. Nothing can get through to the brain. thick. You come with phone and read and I flick your finger. The blood clot go on ya. My worker! I just big on up and go on ya. Come in and know this same thing that they ain't give me for read. And Vaz literally turn up and pick up the paper. Turn round and pick up the paper and tell us, I wanna say, open with a quote. I like out the light blue, just I believe a light blue are my ideas. Hold you and beat you with one fountain pen. Hold you and beat you with one fountain pen. And when I don't beat you with the fountain pen, the way all your dirty and ink up, it would have shown say you're chaka dance. But you come bright, bustling and pretty. And look what left there. The wickedness though, Isaac Buchanan included. The whole of them turn up. Jesus, I'm tired. The whole of them turn up there and they make you walk within the place. Believe yes how you go for true. Isaac and the rest of them are wicked. We are wicked. No. Jesus. We don't make Anvars walk away. Believing say go for true. Tell me if they're not wicked to Anvars. Good God Almighty. As when I send it to Isaac in the evening, I say, so one of them could have carry car. One of them could have carry car. We don't never have to make you walk where believe say go so. Because maybe if she say people pick it up on road the same way she go do again. Poor thing. Our hearing aid never turn up enough. Because they pick them and repeat it in front of her, you know. But poor she never hear a thing at all where going in front of her. Because she was opening with a coat. And she was not attained by sudden flight. Jamaica, it is comical, but it is serious. It is comical, but serious. Because they are people who are in position of power, who are making critical decisions that affect your life and affect your future. But I want to choose them. What me do? The most me can do is have a gripe over it. If uno decide to go back and say, it no matter that him done, him a labor right. And then no come and call about road and water. JLP, when they see the report say the shit in the water, them never have to know say a shit. Them never have to know say shit in the water. If we employ people who can read a report, we don't know the difference are resilient and resilient, or if any word name go resilient. I don't know say it's administration. I don't know say you may can get 10 out of 50, but you can't get 50 out of 10. One labor right. Shower all the way. Go and go bathe in here. A long time when I walk and check way. Go and go bathe now. And get up every day and tell we say shower. Go and go do it. See the pipe there. Even though no leader may take it up after and losing ribbon, time cutting ribbon. Go on, go bathe and tap check with about the shower. One is a disgrace to own own self. Look one there now. In the Migla election, the whole I have big brawl and papa way. And then the great denial every day. Turntable loading, labor rights. No, not labor rights, Buster rights. Buster rights, a bunch of can't spell bread dunce. I don't know, try improve. And that's the problem we don't know, you know. We don't know, try improve. Look how good in Vegas. Termite and parasite. Look how way Andrew Holness are used for sell a message on social media. Flip-flop stepping in shit, Andrew Holness, is what you have become. You're a flip-flop in shit. Might as well you step out of the flip-flop and just continue the journey barefoot, you damn fool. Anyway, that was our geopolitical slot for the night with a bit of twist of Busterism and the sweltering unrest in the Jamaica Labor Party. Will the lid fully blown off before the general election? Or will we have to stay and peep through our window the morning after general election when they decide to dismantle themselves in front of all of us? The cameras, Jamaica Labor Party, will be rolling. Thank you very much for being here tonight on the Global Television Group. Lovely to have your support. If you are new to our program and TikTok, please give us a follow. So when we go live, you have your notification sent to you. If you're new to us on YouTube, of course, give us a subscription. So once we set our live broadcast, you get notified. Thank you very much for your support this evening. Have a rest of happy holidays. I won't be back until probably Sunday evening because I don't know, I normally take my rest on Saturdays. Only if Andrew Holness bite the bullet and say, this is going to be too disgraceful for me. So me make sure me left it for the cats and the dogs tear up themselves out of it. Because me rich already, my wife and my picking them and my friend them get rich. That's how much I have stolen from the public purse, says Andrew Holness. So, as them say, Tanansi, no poil, no dance. Thank you, good night, and enjoy the rest of your holiday and your weekend. Thanks for watching from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the floor. Make up what I seen to make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, can sell out Rasta, can't sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta. I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Yes, stop on the Friday. You might show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black baby man, show and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big man show and stone, and he bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man show and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
YouTube, thank you very much for being here tonight. Join us back on Sunday where we started all over again. Thank you very much and good night from Global TV.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.